Yay. Now it's officially good morning.
Now it's good morning. Third time's a charm.
Yeah. For people that weren't here, which is most people. We tried to go live. The first time it only went on Facebook. The second time it only went on YouTube. So now we are on both. Yay.
The Goldilocks thing.
Yes. I do want to also acknowledge that I have a new microphone and I'm very excited about it.
I am too. Look at that. Now we match.
We have the same mics and I don't have anything on my head covering, squishing my hair. But anyway, I'm very excited about it because audio issues with microphones and software streaming issues are very frustrating.
Yes, it gets old really fast. I know you were getting a little tired of it, so this will be welcome.
Yeah, I get tired of it because when we're going live, if the quality is not there, no one's going to want to listen. Like sometimes I've been really quiet. Sometimes it's like all the pa sounds come through, which I hate. And then when I'm editing like podcasts and videos, I'm like, it doesn't sound, I want the quality to be there.
Yes, and it takes a lot longer for you to edit. Sometimes you can't even fix the things that you want to fix. So hopefully this will rectify all of that, make your life easier.
Yes. And the fact that our microphones match hopefully means that our audio quality is similar. But you let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys tell us. This is a Q&A day, which means it is always a longer sesh.
Uh-huh. Do you have water? Did you stretch? Warm up?
I always am double fisting it with the coffee and the water at all times.
Well, this morning I've got my ginger ale and water. I've already had 2 Diet Cokes. I thought that was enough caffeine for the day.
You are more on top of it than me. I'm just now having my coffee. So, okay, what we cannot fix is my brain waking up, and we'll see if we can get it. I'm just so groggy. But we do have some news to talk about before we get into the Q&As.
Yes.
What would you like to start with, ma'am?
You're going to love the first one on the list here. It's that Walt Disney World has updated the name of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, the whole ride. It's not a new mission. It's a new name.
Yes, new name. It is getting their new missions.
Right, but they didn't just add a new mission.
No, exactly. It's doing both. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, you know how Disney does love the punctuation and making names more complex than they need to be. The new name is now, drumroll, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Wait, Millennium Falcon : Smuggler's Run dash a new mission.
Wait. Oh, wait, I'm late.
I forgot. Okay.
Is that the longest?
Oh, good grief.
The longest drum snare in history.
That was excessively long. It did not need to be that long.
Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
Millennium Falcon : Smuggler's Run dash a new mission.
Exclamation, semicolon.
Semicolon, ...
And you have to type the last word in the color blue.
Yes. Yes. It was every other letter is capitalized.
Yeah, they just be doing too much. Can we just call it Smuggler's Run and move on?
Yes, please. Please. It's taken me this many years, however long it's been open, to not automatically put in an apostrophe in Smugglers. Like I always want to make it possessive and not make it, just plural. So
I swear I think maybe I do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yes.
Let me figure that out.
Yes. The next thing, I'm saving the best for last. The next thing. Rafiki's Planet Watch. That name looks like it's being dropped, and they're going to stick with just Conservation Station.
Okay, so Conservation Station is not a new name, but it is the new name for the whole area, right?
Correct.
So up until now, Conservation Station's been a section of Rafiki's Planet Watch. Is that correct?
Yes.
And now the whole thing's Conservation Station.
Correct. Yes, because it used to be Rafiki's Watch at Conservation Station, right?
Maybe meet Rafiki's Planet Watch at Conservation. Okay, perhaps.
And now it's going to just be Conservation Station. No more Rafiki. They're getting rid of Rafiki because they're going all in on Australia and and Bluey. So that's going to be the name change over there.
That's such a generic name. It can work for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So when they're done with Bluey, they can swap it out for the next whatever's next. And then the other little bit of news is just confirmation of some of the entertainment that we've come to expect at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is continuing for this year. And we know that because casting calls and audition notices have been starting to drop. So Boo to You, Hocus Pocus, Villain Spectacular, all those are going to be around.
That's not the last bit of news, though.
No, because the last bit of news is the adorable freaking shoes that Brooks dropped for the Princess Half Marathon this weekend.
I cannot handle this because the shoelaces
on this one look like braids. So this is Rapunzel.
Can I make it bigger? Here. No, it didn't work.
What?
Don't do that on Instagram. They're so cute. Okay, anyway, the Rapunzel ones have braids.
Yes, and it's got Pascal on it and the little sun emblem that's on the lanterns that float in the sky, the purple and pink, of course. And then Moana. The colors. And there's wave detail on the soles. I don't know if you can see that. And then the tassels.
Also, these are different models of Brooks shoes because the Rapunzel ones are Ghost 17s and these are Adrenaline GT. These look like more like Hocus to me with the thicker base.
Yeah.
I think you need them.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. My only thing is that I fell in love with the Springtime Surprise ones from last year and I didn't get them and I've regretted it ever since. And then the Disneyland Half Marathon had one that was kind of similar, but I wasn't there, so I didn't want to buy that shoe. Like it was the same color palette basically, or ish. And these ones are so specific. I don't wear these colors.
They're cute.
Yeah, but they're cute. They're cute. So this one's Moana, and then the next one is Belle. Now, this image floated around for several weeks, and everybody was like, no, it's AI. No, it's AI. No, it's AI. Nobody thought that they were going to drop shoes that had this much on it. Because not only are you talking like the colors, but if you notice, like on the tongue, it's got the what looks like, like the portrait. What do you call those things? Cameo.
Yes.
And then the rose on there. People did not think, and myself included, I was in that's AI, quits sharing the AI slop. No way that Brooks is going to put something like this out, but turned out to be true. So very surprised and happy about that. They're adorable.
Super cute. I love the details. They've done such a good job.
Very good job. And then, of course, there's the blue and white one. That's a Mickey Mouse. If you can see, like there's Mickey Mouse back towards the heel, and then the red and black and yellow with the Mickey colors as well.
They're so good.
Very good. I have a feeling these ones will be popular. I think our friend Sharon said on her podcast this week that it's about 80% women for Princess. So I think that these shoes will go very quickly.
For the women and the princess loving men.
Yes. I imagine they were very, very smart pairing those with the themes for the races. People who have already planned their costumes are going to want the shoes to go along with it.
They're so good. Love it.
Yeah. And so if you are on Run Disney Watch, the shirts should drop today sometime. I wish that they would release the shirts a little bit earlier because people who have already left can't plan if they wanted to wear the shirts during their trip. It's not so easy to plan your bottoms. So I really wish that Disney would release those earlier so that people could have a little bit of a heads up so they would know what to pack. But
yes, I am surprised it was this close.
So that's all the news. And that's all we have for today. Goodbye.
Okay. We are almost 10 minutes in and we haven't started the Q&A. Are you ready to start where everyone should start on miscellaneous?
Yes. I love that you start here. It warms my brain up.
Exactly. Let's start with a hard one. How did you and Heather meet? I'm jealous of your friendship.
OnlyFans.
Tender. No, I hired her. Mm-hmm. I hired her. We did not know each other and became friends. In this job, it's very intimate.
Yes.
We used to be roommates 20% of the time at our peak travel times. So it happens. And also it's been quite a roller coaster. 11 and a half years.
Yeah, long time. When you share a bathroom with someone, you get to know each other quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And like all in.
Medical emergencies, personal tragedies. Like there's just so much that's happened over the years. But there were 333 applicants when I first hired somebody. Heather was the first person I hired. And it was just for an assistant to help answer some emails, do Pinterest stuff. And hired her, and she does a lot more than that.
Yeah. It's kind of evolved over the years.
Kind of evolved. Any tips for MCO Airport?
I think MCO is pretty easy. I think one of the big tips that came to me off the top of my head is that if you're flying out of there and you're leaving and you don't have pre-check, make sure you use the reservation system. I think that's a nice little
MCO Reserve.
Yep. I think that's a great tip. What else?
Well, I think if you've never been, that the layout of it might be very strange for you. And so I think that could be a good tip, because let me see if I can.
Oh, yes.
Let me see if I can get our little graphic pulled up here. Okay. So the layout of the airport is like a V, upside down V. And you come in, well, let's start down here. You fly into these terminals out here, and then everybody boards a monorail that goes to the main building here. And this building is shaped like an upside down V. And when you arrive, you're on level 3. And from there, you can go down to either the A side or the B side for baggage claim and car pickup. And then level 1 is where the rental car and the buses are. And so if you are on A2 to pick up your luggage after your flight and you need to get to B1 to catch your bus, you have to go up to 3 and then down, because you can't get between the sides. So you really have to know that. There's a lot of people walking around MCO Airport confused. For at the monorail, is this the one I take? Which stop do I get off at? Everyone has to take it, and there's only one stop.
Yeah.
So that makes that decision a lot easier, because it just only goes one place.
Yeah, and that comes into play a lot if you're using any of like Mears Express transportation, those kinds of things. That's when I usually see the most questions about it, is when you're flying in on one side and you need to get over there to Mears.
And the information that I just talked about was for Terminal A and B. There is a Terminal C that is new. I've only flown out of there once. It is very different. You can get between the sections with airport transportation, but I don't know enough to really speak on it yet. But hopefully I will. It's very nice over there, though. Best advice to use the Disney Inspire credit card to rack up points if I'm a DVC member. I don't know anything about this card. Do you?
I know a little bit, just because people in the Patreon Facebook group were posting about it. So I went back and took a look at that. I think the main thing is that most people think this is going to be a pretty good option comparatively to what they've offered before. And there's a lot of perks that are specific to Disney, of course, because it's a Disney card, and to make sure that you are taking advantage of them by following the rules. So I think there's like a $2,000 spend that you need to have in order to get one bonus. And you could use it if you are a DVC member, if charging everything to your room so that you're racking up money on your folio. I think that's a tip that people are passing around, because you may not be spending so much on your hotel room, which is where most of the people who are using this card would be doing. They're going to drop, $2,000 on a hotel room. But if you go ahead and spend the money and charge back to your room instead of just charging to a card, that can help kind of bypass the not spending on a hotel kind of deal. So Again, not a super big expert on it, but from what I'm hearing, it's a pretty good thing.
All right. That probably could have gone under the Disney World general questions, but we're going to skip on to that anyway right now. Underrated places to go or things to do on a Skyliner crawl with kids. So we do have some graphics about touring the monorail resorts, the boardwalk area resorts, Fort Wilderness, Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Port Orleans resorts, and the Skyliner area resorts. There are playgrounds.
Yes. That was one of the big ones on my list, was that playground in the middle on the island of Caribbean Beach. I think it's a great spot because it's lots of shade there, lots of places for kids to play. Any of the areas over at Art of Animation are fun to explore, with the cars, and you've got Finding Nemo and Lion King and Little Mermaid, lots of the big like icons and things for kids to see. Pop Century's got the same kind of thing. There's the giant outdoor yard games over at Riviera. Those are fun as well.
Yeah, and you can check that. You'll notice on our graphic we have premium dollar sign thing like Mickey tie-dye. You can check the information on every resort's activity schedule on the resort page on the Disney World website. So for instance, you could go to the Pop Century page on the Disney World website, go to activities, or I think it's what it's called, or recreation, and there's a PDF that lists out all their activities. So you could see, oh, they're offering Mickey tie-dye or painting or something like this. I just did a trip report with somebody who purposely went over at Art of Animation and just let their kids run around and play in playgrounds and stuff for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Because they had stayed there before and liked it, but they were just visiting it on the Skyliner as like a non-park day.
I think that's a great option.
How much does the half marathon impact bus arrival times? I'm going to Magic Kingdom this Sunday. Yeah, Heather, how much are you impacting people going to Magic Kingdom this Sunday?
My bad. It does have some impacts. The roads will be closed, both northbound and southbound. And so kind of depending on where you're at, which resort you're staying at, is how much impact there actually will be. In general, though, you can expect probably at 45-ish minutes extra for getting between your resort and the parks. However, from everything I've researched, the buses don't start running any earlier, right? So that delay is happening on the road. So the ideal situation is to be on the first bus of the day. We generally recommend 90 minutes before the start of early entry. I would add extra time to that so that you are definitely on that first bus.
Okay. Have fun on your trip.
Yeah.
You and this person asking. Do you have thoughts, experiences with the fishing charter at Disney? I don't personally.
Have you interviewed anybody that's done it?
I cannot remember right now if I have. I know that we had a Fort Wilderness trip planned a few years ago, and we were going to do everything there, including archery and fishing. But a hurricane came through and we had to cancel our trip. But yeah, I mean, people do seem to like it, but I don't have personal experience with it yet.
Same.
Which water park is easiest to get to from Port Orleans Riverside, and which is better for kids ages 8 and 3? So Typhoon Lagoon is near Disney Springs, and Port Orleans Riverside is also near Disney Springs. So therefore, Port Orleans Riverside is near Typhoon Lagoon. So proximities-wise, that's the closest.
Yes. I would say, though, the one downside to Typhoon Lagoon with kids that age is that the wave pool isn't as accessible for them as opposed to the one over at Blizzard Beach. It is brutal on adults and probably not a great option for littles. So that might play into it too. And also, I think the theming of Blizzard Beach appeals to kids a little bit more than the Typhoon Lagoon one, but that's just me.
What is your Disney must-do every trip? Mine is a Mickey ice cream bar. We actually did a video recently. Our topic when we went live was things we do every trip. And one of those is riding People Mover.
People Mover. I think that's always our top one.
We do often end up at Nomad Lounge. We often do end up at La Cava de Tequila. We often do end up getting a cold brew when we're there.
Yeah.
So we have some. Is it true Disney will block you if they find out you're using Weight Magic or Standby Skipper? So if Disney wanted to block these apps, they could on a technical level, at the corporate level, but they have not. And what has happened is some overzealous cast members in the parks will see it when you go to ask them for help, and they'll be like, oh, no, I can't help you if you have that. That's not true, and it's not consistent. It's just a few cast members have said that. And if that happens to you, I would just go find another cast member.
Yeah.
Rent a double stroller from a third party or at the park?
I think it depends on if you want the stroller to go between like the outside the park. Like if you need a stroller outside the park, you're going to want to rent from a third party so that you have access to it. If you rent it at the park, you're only going to have it inside the park.
For that reason, we often recommend the in-park ones just for like older kids that are not used to being in a stroller, but they just need it for a Disney trip because it's 13 miles a day or something. And the in-park strollers also tend to be really heavy duty, not comfy.
Yeah.
So it's more suitable for an older kid that doesn't need to take a nap, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we do have stroller information, including a spreadsheet to compare our stroller comparison info. I'll just put it in the chat because like always, we have spreadsheets, graphics. Next, 2-day park hopper. I want to do all 4 parks. Which parks each day?
I would do Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom because Animal Kingdom opens early, Magic Kingdom usually stays open later. So that's a good pairing. And I would do Epcot and Hollywood Studios together because they're easy to hop between.
That's a good tip. And I just want to say this is very ambitious.
Yes. I was tired just reading it.
Very, very ambitious. I just recorded a trip report, the next one that goes up, and they hopped every day intentionally because they know that that's something that they're into, but they had a lot more than 2 days. And so they just hopped throughout the whole week.
Yeah. Dang.
Planning early entry from Pop Century to Magic Kingdom. Do you recommend the bus or driving ourselves?
Bus all the way. I would not drive.
We don't recommend driving to Magic Kingdom in general.
It's a multi-step process.
It'll take you way longer. And one of the benefits of Pop Century and Art of Animation is that they have their own buses that go right to the park. So there isn't internal stops at the resort. There isn't other resorts to go to. And most resorts do have that. They have multiple stops, but these two do not. So hop on the Pop Century bus and go directly there. We do it all the time, and we're at the front of the pack all the time. But you do need to be there early because the queue, they do have queues at the value resorts. So get at the front of the bus queue so that you're on the first bus, ideally. Best ways to avoid post-luminous and Fantasmic bottlenecks.
I think like we're both having throat issues. I think for both of these, you need to decide like where you're going to watch, especially for both of them. So for Luminous, are you going to watch from the front of the park or the back of the park? And how are you going to exit? Is your plan to go out the International Gateway? Is your plan to go out the front of the park? Because if your plan is to go out the front of the park, you don't want to be watching the show back in France because then you're going to be swimming upstream possibly with everybody who's heading back towards the International Gateway. So that's the first thing to think about. Then for Fantasmic, position yourself where you're seated in a way to make a good exit, a quick exit. That means you'll be up higher probably and at the end of a row, and you're able to, zip and make your way out. There's also the option of thinking about, how much is the last 3 or 4 minutes worth it to you? Because you could skip off a little bit early and beat some of the heavier crowds for both shows that way.
That's what we do a lot. So there's a big river boat sort of thing at the end of Fantasmic that has all the characters on board, and that's like the finale. And we often will be headed out when that boat starts coming our way. Sometimes we're on the Skyliner during Luminous.
Yeah.
Like, let's lift us in the sky so we can see.
Yeah.
Without the crowds. We both have anxiety, post fireworks crowd anxiety. So this is a passionate topic for us. Late August crowd level for Magic Kingdom fireworks on a non-party day. Dessert party worth it with littles?
In fact, I'm including this one in the newsletter for today because I feel very strongly about this. When Magic, can I speak today? When Not So Scary Halloween party starts. Mm-hmm. The nights that host fireworks, the night that the parks are open all the way, regular park hours, the fireworks get very, very, very crowded because there's limited number of days to actually view the fireworks. If I had little ones and I wanted to see the fireworks and I didn't want to fight the crowds on Main Street and I didn't want to stake out a spot, hours and hours in advance, I think it would be worth it to do a dessert party just to have that guaranteed viewing. You have your own space and you don't have to worry about the crowd that's going to be on the other side of the fence there.
And this advice is good from August through December because Magic Kingdom has so many parties that it makes the non-party nights extra competitive.
Yeah.
So yes, to the dessert party. What does spring and summer mean for reopenings? I have a trip May 16th to the 23rd, and I'm wondering.
That's a great question.
It's a great question. And then on top of that, they will sometimes say summer and then announce late summer. So they start to get more specific the closer we get. But usually summer is Memorial Day to Labor Day. Like that's how they recognize it. So if you're going May 16th to the 23rd, I wouldn't count on the summer stuff being available.
Yeah.
Disney trip in April.
Yay.
I included it because I think sometimes people just hit submit before they finished it, but I thought we could say whatever we want. It's improv now.
It is improv. Okay, Disney trip in April. Mid-April on would be better because early April, Easter.
Yeah, April can be bad depending on the year and how the holidays fall and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I think the later in April, the better it gets this year because I'm pretty sure, Easter's early. So later you get, the better it's going to be.
And the mid-April has a Run Disney Springtime surprise, and late April has cheer and dance competitions. That's what the orange is on this graphic. So if you're staying at All Star Sports, you might see some cheer kids.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Hold on, let me reset our faces. Favorite thing to kick off Magic on arrival day, kids ages 4, 8, and 11 and staying at the Contemporary. I just did a YouTube video that was kind of popular about this. Arrival day and departure day ideas.
Well, you've got an easy one if you're staying at the Contemporary.
Chef Mickey's.
Chef Mickey's.
Yeah. One of the things to do to kick off a trip is a character meal, but not all the character meals are available for dinner. Chef Mickey's is.
Yes.
So we definitely suggest that. That's how I used to kick off every trip.
Me too. When my kids were young, we would do Chef Mickey's and then do a loop on the monorail.
That is very fun especially, they are staying on the monorail, but if you're not staying on the monorail, it can be really fun just to plan on taking it for a spin.
Yeah.
So that's a fun idea. But I did just include in the comments our arrival and departure day ideas. It is an article that I included, but there's also a YouTube video if you're a YouTube person. And you can also just watch fireworks from the Contemporary, in a great spot for that.
Main Street, not the Main Street,
Electrical Water Pageant.
Thank you. I'm so tired.
Yes. There is a balcony on the 4th floor of the Contemporary where you can go and watch the fireworks. And you can also watch from the beach. The music will be piped in. So at the Contemporary, you have great options. This was part of a multi-part question. What about people who fall in between? It's not my first visit, but maybe every few years. And this person was basically saying there's a lot of first-timer tips and there's a lot of pro tips, but what if I just go every so often? And I have actually thought about, wouldn't it be good if we had a tool where people could say their last date of the trip, and then we can tell them what's happened since? Because, for instance, the lightning lane system has changed
multiple times.
Yes, but maybe since this trip, maybe they used Genie Plus on the last trip, and now they're this new, lightning lane system. That is going to be different. And there's, things closed, things open. Like, I think it would be really useful information. We don't have it, but I think it would be super helpful. I think the lightning lane thing is the thing that I think every time you go, you're going to have to reacquaint yourself with.
Most definitely.
Summer deals for August are gone. Will we see more?
I would say never, but typically the next round of discounts that are going to come out are going to be fall. Not saying that they won't include August in that, but
it depends how bookings are.
Yeah.
I think if we go back to thinking about why they do promotions, it's not to be nice. It's because they need more bookings. And if they don't need the bookings, they will not offer more promos. But if they need more bookings, they'll put out more promos. And so we'll see about that. Husband and son want to do a day trip to Kennedy Space Center. Is it doable? Tips. Yeah. I've done this and rented a car on site at Disney World just for the day and drove out there and came back in the same day. It's a pretty short visit.
Yeah, we did the same a couple times when our boys were young. There's a lot to see and do out there. There are some things that you book in advance, so I would not suggest just showing up. Put a little planning into it. Take a look and see what things are available and open, and you can spend probably as much time as you want to down there. So,
and it's at the beach. They could go to the beach for a little bit if they wanted to.
Yep.
2 moms and 2 13-year-old daughters on an epic girls trip. That's really fun. Best special recommendations. Well, you're not going to Nomad Lounge in La Cava, probably.
No. Maybe a dessert party. Or adding after hours if it's available.
Yes, that would be. I wonder what time of year they're going.
Me too, because 13-year-olds, I'm guessing they can probably handle staying up late. You could do a tour, like the Wild Africa Trek might be a good option for kids that age, or capture your moment, like do some photos, get some pictures.
Yeah, and I recently did some content about doing Disney World with teens. I felt very passionately about this because I feel like they're really an in-between age, and they can do more stuff than younger kids, but not as much as adults. So it's like, okay, well, what can they do? On the list of things that I wanted to mention was, thinking about privacy in your rooms, rethinking your daily schedule. Like maybe you start later and your lightning lanes begin later as opposed to rip drop. Heather already mentioned after hours. They want to stay up late and have very low waits. That's fun. If you're staying deluxe, you can do extended evening theme park hours as well. And then activities that they can finally do. That these girls are 13. So some of the things I've listed here are 16 plus and 14 plus. But for a lot of teenagers, those activities are options. And then just planning for their food. If they happen to have big appetites, look at like family style dining or buffet dining. Disney Dining Plan can really help them feel like they have more control over their, snacks and meals and things. And the last thing was I don't know if it applies in this case because it's a girls trip, but giving them freedom and independence might be an option. And also 13 is on the younger end of the teen years, but a lot of teenagers want to navigate by themselves and they want to go souvenir shopping on their own, etc. So lots of good options with teenagers. Let's see. Would you avoid parks on days that have extended hours? Are they busier during the day because of it?
They can be. It's not super dramatic. And in fact, I spent a little time this morning looking at some wait time things just to make sure that I had my information correct. They can be a little bit busier. It's not an overwhelming amount. If you have another option, it's not a bad idea to choose that. But if that's your only option, I also wouldn't be scared of it.
Yeah, in general, if things happen after the regular park hours, it make it less busy during the day. I think that's the flip side of this, because a lot of people hear us talking about like Halloween party days and Christmas party days are a good time to go to Magic Kingdom because it closes at 6 and it's low crowds. That is true, but they don't close early for after hours or extended hours. So it's not less busy, but the end of the day, the overlap can be more busy.
The issue with the extended evening hours with deluxe guests is that if they don't have a park hopper, they have to attend that park in order to access those hours, and that's what drives that attendance up a little bit. So it's people who want to go, but they don't have a park hopper.
Okay, that is a good point. I can see where more people would pick the park for that reason. Any tips for watching March Madness games? Staying at the Polynesian, do the pool bars have TVs?
They do, but it's not like there's a lot of them or a lot of seats where you can see the TV necessarily, and the TVs, in my experience, aren't that big. I think your better options are I think there's a couple good places, like over at Yacht Club. They have a lounge there that is pretty well known for being a good spot to watch, but Disney Springs has several places where you can watch games. Splitsville is a good one.
Yeah, most people go to CityWorks, I think, because it's it has a million screens.
Has a million screens.
And you can see them, like, as you walk by. Lots of beers on top, lots of screens, but it's busy. So Splitsville also has screens, but it's less busy.
Correct.
Whenever like for the Super Bowl, we talked about this a lot, like on Instagram, and people were like, yeah, but there's like a sports bar at Coronado Springs Resort. And, there's always these little pockets of places. But if you want to watch at the Polynesian, then you might want to just ask. I don't know if Wailulu Grill has something over there that they'll let you watch, but Disney Springs is a easy go-to. I just walked by the old Big River Grill. There's a lot of construction being done. So for people that don't know, the Boardwalk area has a couple things that have closed in the last year. One is Big River Grill, a restaurant that wasn't super popular, but it was an option. And the other was Jelly Rolls, the dueling piano bar where we went a lot.
Yeah, sad about that one.
And we don't know what's going in there exactly. And there's some construction.
Yeah, it'd be great though to get, I think, another restaurant in over there.
Need another restaurant. Also would love entertainment.
Yeah.
14 nights from the UK in 2027. Our only options are Easter or July. Which one would you choose? So, as you likely know, there are big issues, potential issues with these. One is crowds, one is heat.
Yeah.
Easter's going to be really big. Pick your poison. Do you want to be hot or do you want busy crowds?
Yeah. That one is tricky. I would say take a look at if your dates are going to be like what part of Easter they're going to be, which side of Easter, because and
they have 14 nights.
So
it probably won't span the whole thing.
You might have the chance of having at least half of the trip not be horrible crowds. So I think the other nice little thing about that too is in April, you're going to have festival at Epcot. In July, you're probably not going to have a festival at Epcot if you care about that at all. So definitely pros and cons to both.
Yeah, I think the fact that you have 14 nights works in your favor. So there's not as much pressure to fit a lot in during a peak crowd time. So yeah, I guess we're voting for Easter.
Yeah.
Are the first 2 weeks of November okay?
That's a great question.
It depends what you think is okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because a lot of people would say it is busy.
Yeah. Veterans Day is a very popular time at Disney World.
Yes. So the first 2 weeks of November are orange on our calendar. They mentioned Veterans Day. It is also Jersey Week, and it's where a lot of people are off of school. So they make a Disney vacation of it. And it makes the first couple of weeks busy.
Yeah.
So just beware.
Yes. don't want people to be scared when they hear us talking about being busy because yes, it's busy, but as long as you're prepared and you have a plan and you remain flexible, any time of the year is going to be fine. Just go into it knowing that. And there's even, I think, some times when it's less busy, but the walkways and whatnot feel extremely crowded. Like, so it's all just kind of relative.
Yeah, and whenever we talk about crowds, I am never really trying to scare people, but I do want you to be prepared because it can be really shocking to go and be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know all these people are gonna be here." But if you're prepared, then well, I gotta be careful about my dining reservations and my lightning lanes and
Exactly.
all this kind of stuff. So we want you to at least know because during busy times, planners especially have an advantage because busy times bring in people that aren't planning. So they don't know how to mobile order. They don't know how lightning lanes work, etc. All right. Any tips for starlight viewing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have tips. What you think, Heather?
I would say I think the big one is second parade is generally going to be less busy than the first one if you're lucky enough to be going during a time when there are two. Not all times of the year do they have both. The next thing would be Frontierland tends to be less busy in general for viewing. You can show up a little bit later over there.
Yes, and we have it marked on this graphic. This area of the route on both sides of the street tends to be less crowded. Plus, there are a few spots where you can sit if you arrive early enough to snag one. So, low stress, Frontierland.
Yes.
But for classic views that include the castle or Main Street, then you're going to want to be over on the hub. On this graphic, the yellow kind of denotes that space. And it does reverse now.
Yes. Yeah. They go one way if it's first parade and then turn around and come back the other for the second parade. So that's important to know just for your timing. So you know about how long it is until the parade shows up to where you're at.
What's your favorite ride at Magic Kingdom?
People Mover.
That's our favorite ride.
All day, every day.
I think it's our favorite ride because it doesn't have a lightning lane or require it. It gives you a nice tour of Tomorrowland, gentle. So everyone can do it. Or as Heather says, it's Heather speed.
It is Heather speed. Even though it's not air conditioned, you're moving, so the breeze feels good.
It's just a great sampler of the Magic Kingdom.
Just put your feet up.
You can hear Space Mountain even if you don't want to go on it. It's one of our favorite attractions during the Christmas party because you get to see the overlays of Space Mountain and Tomorrowland Speedway and the castle. So that would be our answer.
Yeah.
Bodhi Boutique and then Cinderella's Royal Table. Too much for a 4-year-old. Want to see all of Magic Kingdom, and we have, I don't know how many days there. It says we have days there. Doable. I feel like we answered a version of this last week.
And I think so.
Yeah, totally doable. Our answer last week still stands this week, I think, which is do as much as you can afford. They grow up. They grow up and they will not be into princesses.
Yeah. And I mean, your 4-year-old the best. I'm wondering, like, are they asking, is it doable? Because, it's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe you just have to scale back what you do the rest of the day. And if your little one's getting overwhelmed or they've had enough and they are just done. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's totally doable.
And if your trip is focused on the 4-year-old and doing what they're into at this stage, then this would be a great combo if they're into princesses. And yeah, I mean, I say do it. Some logistical tips: Baby Boutique books at midnight, 60 days out, even though Disney tells you 60 days. And then Cinderella's Table books it says 60 days out, 6 a.m. So you'll have to stay up late in order to snag your Baby Boutique time and then get up early or stay up or whatever your deal is at 6 a.m. Eastern time for Cinderella's Royal Tables. And doing them back to back is a great way to do it so that you get the whole castle experience together. It's super cute. Fireworks dessert party before or after?
I tend to like the after one better because I don't like to rush eating my desserts or drinking my drinks. So I tend to lean more towards the after one. But other people like to do the before one. I think it just kind of depends on how you want the flow of your evening to go.
Yeah, I think there's, different ways to look at it. But the after one also allows you to just hang out somewhere while the crowds are going on. So going back to
Mhm.
the earlier conversation about how the crowds give us anxiety, the after one lets you not be in that group.
Yeah. You can
So,
just like, the worst part about the after one is moving from where you watch the fireworks back to where you have your dessert party. They
mhm.
usually will have people who are kinda help direct you with that, but otherwise, yeah, I think it's
So we have this graphic here, but basically you check in where I'm circling the number 3. I don't know how
Mhm.
much you can see. And then where you go to view it is number 2. It's the viewing area. So they're separate but nearby. And if you do the post dessert party, you can check in at 3 and then head out to that area. And you could even watch a starlight parade if you want to.
Mhm.
It's not the best view, but it is a view. And then you can also snag your spot for the fireworks. And then afterwards, while all the crowds are going down Main Street, you can just hop over back to 3 to have your desserts. So I think the flow of that probably makes good sense.
Mhm.
And, but I don't know, we're big fans of the dessert parties in general. So that is a good plan. How busy is Magic Kingdom during non party days at the end of October compared to the middle of March?
It's busier. It's busier for the same reason that we talked about earlier. It's that whole issue where the fireworks are only shown on the nights when it's a non-party day, and so
Mhm.
people who really want to see the fireworks are going to plan their days to be in Magic Kingdom then. So that makes Magic Kingdom way busier. Now, on the flip side, that also means that on party days, the park is less busy. So if you don't have to see the fireworks, if that's not something that's one of your must do's, or you have multiple days to go to Magic Kingdom, um, totally think about scheduling one of those on a party day because you'll have less crowds.
Heather is deep in the thinking about parks, best parks to visit each day, especially during party season, because we might be creating a tool to help people pick the
Mhm.
parks. Post dessert party in time. Magic Kingdom close and fireworks are at 10 p.m. Sea Enchantment too.
I looked at the hours of this. Did you take a look?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Enchantment's at 11, fireworks are at 10. We have totally been to a dessert party before that was a post dessert party where it felt as if they were rushing us out a little bit more than what we have felt on other days. They started picking up the desserts. It wasn't as relaxed. My guess is that while they aren't going to tell you you need to leave right now, you will probably be gently encouraged to be making your way out before that starts.
So this is an after hours day, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's been my confusion with this question is okay, so let's go back then. Magic Kingdom After Hours
Mhm.
has their own fireworks. So
Mhm.
before Magic Kingdom After Hours, they show Happily Ever After to everyone.
Yes, 10 o'clock on this
And
particular night.
yes, and that means daytime guests get to see it and after hours guests get to see
Mhm.
it. And then the people that have after hours tickets can see Enchantment because that is an after hours event. So this person doesn't have an after hours ticket
Mm-mm.
but they do have the dessert party. So
Mhm.
they are wondering, can I hang out and see the entertainment?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. So we're caught up. I was confused.
Yes. So I mean, if and even if they don't encourage you to leave the dessert area in their kind Disney way that they have, where you're dining on your desserts isn't you can't see the
Mm-mm,
fireworks.
mm-mm.
It's all covered, there's no, you'd hear the music, but you're not going to see the fireworks from there. I think the best case would be as you're walking out, you would see it. But
Yes.
they might even send you down the bypass and not down Main Street itself, which would then even limit your views even more. So all that to say, I would not bank on it. I would just enjoy the fact that you're getting to see happily ever after. You're getting to have some desserts, some drinks, and anything that happens after that is just a little bonus surprise.
The nice thing about Magic Kingdom fireworks is that they are visible from spots even outside the park.
Mhm.
So we have been walking to the buses and been like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, we can," and we have a bit of a view on our way out. So, take whatever view you get on the exit. I want Nighttron.
Mhm.
Fireworks are at 9, parades at 7:45 or 10. What time should I book the single pass lighting lane?
Kinda depends on what time of the year you're going, because that's what time it's gonna get dark.
It's probably in the next 60 days since they have the times.
Then I would aim for fireworks are at 9. What if you did an 7:30 to 8:30 Tron and tried to get on around 8 and then
And do the second parade?
do the second parade? Do that. Your problem is that you're not gonna have a bunch of time to grab a good spot for your fireworks. So you're gonna have to compromise on something a little bit, and it may be that you don't get the most perfect spot for fireworks. If your party's small, if it's just, a couple people, that may not be a big deal. If you have a group of 18, it's gonna be difficult to roll up to get a good spot for the fireworks if you're coming off a Tron at, 8:40. But I think that's what I would do, is to try to do Tron sometime around 8-ish. It's just the queue can be long, so it's kinda hard to you don't wanna push it too late because then you're gonna miss fireworks entirely. Um, but I know you wanna see it at night, if you want the canopy all lit up.
It's a busy evening.
It's a very busy evening.
First family trip in March, only one day at Magic Kingdom, sit down meal at Tony's or quick service to maximize time.
I have my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are you might enjoy, you do need a reason to sit down, probably. And a sit down meal is one way to do that.
Mhm.
I don't know. What else?
Well, my thought in general is I like a table service at lunch,
Mhm,
especially if I'm not taking a break for the day, because it
mhm.
feels like a natural break, and people will come and refill my Diet Coke for me, and that's very important. So, if you aren't planning to take a break, I would definitely put a table service at lunch and then use quick service for a dinner, and you can squeeze that in after the sun goes down, it gets a little bit cooler, and you can grab some food and keep going while you can really maximize the best part of the day.
If you time your Tony's reservation, you could watch the Festival Fantasy Parade from there.
Mhm,
And so I would check the Festival Fantasy schedule and then book Tony's, I don't know, half hour before that or close to that time,
mhm,
and then request a seat that is out north on not on the patio maybe, but just inside
yeah,
the where you can see out. Epcot. Any tips on enjoying Diet Epcot? The term Diet Epcot kills me
yeah, yes,
because it makes me feel 100 years old because Epcot didn't used to have festivals year round, but
mhm,
people that are newer in the last 5 years they got used to the festivals year round.
mhm,
Uh, I mean, you don't have to worry about the weekend crowds
no,
because
those
the locals aren't coming out as much because of the lack of festival.
yeah,
It's simpler. Some stuff is still open, like Morocco's open year round, even though, it technically is a food booth. It's
yes.
also just a restaurant.
Yeah, I will say though, I it tends to make the spots inside of the World Showcase a little bit more busy because people have fewer spots to go to grab things. So whereas they would be out like on the kiosks grabbing stuff from festival stuff, they might be more likely to go into like the places in China or the spots, in any of the countries. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. There is an insane amount of food options at Epcot.
Yeah.
Like, it is so crazy because even without a festival, like, there's
Mhm.
so many restaurants throughout the World Showcase and the other part, which we will not refer to, the non-World Showcase. I mean, and great options.
Yeah.
Like, great restaurants, great quick service, so much food.
Yeah,
So
and Festival Favorites will probably be open, so at
mhm.
least you get and that one's over in, Communicore Hall.
Yeah, if you want a little sampler of a festival, head
The
there.
yeah.
Best way to do Frozen and Remy. I almost said TikTok. Test track. April 8th, I'm buying multi-pass and single pass, staying at Boardwalk Inn.
This one made it into the newsletter too because I'm very passionate about
Mhm.
the ability to pull this off because I've done it multiple times. So your goal is going to be at the front of the pack at the International Gateway. So you want to get there at least 45, 60 minutes early, right? At the front of the pack at the International Gateway. You're going to rope drop Remy's.
Mhm.
And then you're going to walk with a purpose from Remy's to Frozen. If you are at the front of the pack, you will very likely get into line at a minimum for Frozen before the park opens to the rest of the non-on-site guests. And so then if you do that, you can use your multi-pass for Test Track. And
Or single rider.
yes, or single rider. But at that, so you could, if you wanted to ride Frozen or Remy's again, you could make that for your pre-selection for your tier 1 stuff. Otherwise, Test Track should be a breeze at that point. Single rider, use your multi-pass, and the rest of the day will be very chill. Very chill.
On our last trip, we did Epcot testing where I started at the front of the park. She started at the National Gateway. And she did Remy's and Frozen Ever After and Test Track. And I did Guardians standby line and then went to Test Track and then Frozen. And we like crisscrossed. And then we ended up at Soarin'. Like after doing those 3, we ended up at Soarin' relatively close together.
Yeah.
So you can really do it. You can, with that single pass Lightning Lane at Guardians, you're going to be good.
You're going to be real good.
Okay, one more for Epcot. How to tackle the Food and Wine Festival on a busy day.
Well, I would start early. I would even though busy days, long lines, I think the lines move pretty fast.
Yeah, and like we've done the festivals a lot, and I think if you have more than one adult in your group, have one person go find a place to sit, have one person go stand in line, or more than one person, depending on how much you're ordering. That's an easier way to do it.
Yeah.
I do not like trash can eating. Like people always talk about eating on the trash cans, not happening. But there are seating areas throughout that you can take advantage of. Some inside, most outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Head for the shade, partner up. Just know that if you are purchasing alcoholic beverages, each adult can only purchase 2 at a time, or they should only be allowed to purchase 2. Sometimes the cast members won't catch it. So just make sure you're planning properly to have the right combination and number of people to grab the drinks.
Yes. We're hopping over to Animal Kingdom. Is Animal Kingdom worth visiting in May since so many things are closed? For a partial day, if you have park hopper tickets, maybe you go for the morning or a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to justify at the cost of what a ticket is to burn just a whole day there.
And they have the nerve to do extended evening theme park hours at Animal Kingdom in May. And there are 4 attractions open. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just a one of. I think there's a corporate thing that's happening and that's got a buyout of, I think it's Epcot that it's displacing, but not a good, it's not a good way to burn an entire park day. Park hopper, annual pass.
Or an easier day where you don't want to be gone for so long. But I wouldn't blame people for wanting to skip it right now because it's very much in transition.
Yeah. Still love it though.
Best Animal Kingdom tour / experience for a mom and daughter's 13th birthday celebration. I wonder if this is the same group as before who was asking about resorts. I bet so. I am partial to the Wild Africa Trek. I love it. Although I need to check the age on that.
I looked it up.
What is it?
And it should be good.
Okay. How old do you have to be for that one?
I want to say,
Oh, it's only 8.
yeah, 8. I was going to say 8, and then I didn't want to sound stupid.
Okay.
I just know
Yeah.
I looked it
So
up and it was going to be okay.
yeah, I've done the Wild Africa Trek a couple of times, and it does tend to skew like more adult or older kid, but it's really fun. It
Mhm.
includes a little bit of a lunch. You go across a rope bridge. You get to get a little bit closer to the animals. You kind of take a private Kilimanjaro safari ride in a
Mhm.
way. Like, there's no need to go on Kilimanjaro safari after you've done this because you basically get your own tour. So that would be my pick. Any other ideas?
That was the one that I pulled. There's the one where you do the dining too. So I guess if, your 13-year-olds are big foodies, that one also 13.
Savor the Savannah.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. That one also, is an option, and 13-year-olds can definitely do that one. So if that's more their vibe, that would be something that you could do, but I think the Wild Africa Trek sounds more, I don't know, adventurous and fun.
It is. It is more adventurous. Savor the Savannah is the same age requirement, which is only 8. So those are really good ones. Resorts. Let's do resorts. Best resort for a 7-month-old, 7 and 9-year-old. Convenience with the baby and good for the big kids. I have a pick.
Okay.
Mine is Caribbean Beach.
Oh, yeah. That one's a good one.
Mine's Caribbean Beach, and the reason is that the Skyliner is great when you have a stroller because you can
Mhm.
roll on to go to 2 of the parks. For the bigger kids, there is a pool that a lot of people like there, and there's a playground.
Mhm.
What else?
Mine was Beach Club.
Mhm.
Because same thing, you got access to the Skyliner. You could also walk to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and you've got Stormalong Bay, which is very popular, with kids in that age range.
Last option, I would say, maybe the Polynesian.
Mm.
It's on
Mhm.
the monorail, so
Mhm.
again, you can roll that on to go to Magic Kingdom and Epcot,
Mhm.
and also fun pool, beach. I think the kids would be entertained there, and if the 7-month-old has to go to bed, you guys can still be out watching fireworks from your patio or your balcony if you have a room that has that, and a lot of the rooms there do.
Mhm.
Then this, I don't know, some 7-month-olds will sleep anywhere, some of them have to be in bed, but that would be the third option, I think. Another resort question, is Fort Wilderness Halloween fun only on Halloween, or would a resort day visit be fun right before? I was there Halloween about a year and a half ago. I'm
Mhm.
not Halloween day, but like right before. It's a whole thing. The month of October is just fun at Fort Wilderness.
It's very fun.
So, but I can't tell from this question if they're visiting or if they're staying.
What resort day visit, I think they're just visiting.
Yeah, the problem is that you really need a golf cart, and
Mhm.
you can't have a golf cart unless you're staying there.
Yeah.
So, it's really the golf cart that's key because you need to be able to drive it around and see all the decorations.
Mhm.
So, I wouldn't do it for a day visit.
Yeah, unless you're not there to just see the decorations, unless you're planning to do, like some archery or a trail ride or do the, campfire. That would be the only thing.
Mhm,
Otherwise, like Shannon said, otherwise, you're not gonna really get to see what truly makes Fort Wilderness special during Halloween.
mhm. I need 2 connecting rooms. Do I book 2 separate reservations and then call to request them to be together? So booking 2 rooms is actually not possible online, like, in one transaction, which is very
Mhm,
frustrating. So you could just call to book both rooms
mhm,
if you want, because then they can be connecting. I don't know the dynamics of this travel group, but if there are more adults, I mean, more kids than adults, then you're more likely to get connecting rooms. When you say, "I need 2 connecting rooms," I have a feeling that's probably why.
yeah.
You're more likely to get it if you book them together and say, like, I've got 3 or 4 kids, so we need to be together. But if you do book 2 separate reservations, you can call and request a travel with number, and that number bridges the 2 together and connects them so that when they go to assign the rooms, you're more likely to be get your requests, whether that's connecting rooms or to be near each other or whatever it is.
Adjoining.
Adjoining, yes. But like we've been with adult only groups and gotten connecting rooms, no problem.
Yeah, there's
So
tons of connecting rooms in the Disney resorts.
yeah, so your chances are really good for that. Status of the pop renovations, any sections to avoid if you want an updated room?
I think from what I could see that the renovations are done. They were supposed to be done by the end of February, but I think it's done. The alert is off of the main Pop Century page. The only one that's still there anymore is the one about Skyliner stuff in 2027. And from looking at Facebook groups and whatnot, I think it's all wrapped up.
Okay. So you should be good then.
Mhm.
Girls weekend, great cocktails and relaxed vibes. Where are you going? And I assume they meant resorts.
Yeah, yeah. So many great options. Thank you for asking. I like Three Bridges. I like Geyser Point. I like, sitting outside the Wailulu Grill. I think that one's good too.
So that's all dining at different resorts.
Yes, yes. And all of those have outdoor vibes. So they're covered and outdoors, which I think is kind of relaxing. They sounds hot, but I promise they're not hot.
They're not. We would tell you if they were because we do not like to be hot.
Mhm.
But can you name the resorts those are attached to?
So, Geyser Point is Wilderness Lodge, Three Bridges is Coronado Springs, Wailulu is, Polynesian. Another great one, if you want inside, is if you want something a little fancier, it's a little bit more expensive, Enchanted Rose over at Grand Floridian is a nice option. It can get it's kind of popular, so it's not as the chill vibe, but it's very elegant. Where else is a good one, Shannon?
I don't know. Those are
Dahlia Lounge.
Those are good ideas. Yeah, that's Grandestino Tower. We really like the Grandestino Tower, Coronado Springs. Yeah, those are good choices. Now I want to go to those places.
Yeah.
I do think that most relaxed we've ever been is at those places that you named.
Yeah.
Like we love those like outdoor spaces that are covered.
Yeah.
Any idea why Coronado Springs doesn't really offer mobile order? Do quick service lines get long? This is a great question because there are a lot of different places to eat there, but like Three Bridges is the only thing listed. And we've stayed there a million times and we find ourselves in this situation. Like,
Yeah.
we have to just go.
Yes. I don't know why, other than convention crowd, they're maybe they just don't have the space or whatever to set up for mobile order, although they don't really need anything special other than a spot to put their orders. I don't know. Their quick service isn't the best anyway.
Well, we don't like their food court. For
Mm-mm.
some reason, it is the worst food court at Disney World. But there's plenty of other places to eat.
Mhm.
Like the Rick's Cafe bar, sports bar thing is right next, and we tend to go there. And usually don't have to wait very long to get in. So it's not quick service, but it's kind of just very casual. And then we do go to Three Bridges. You can do mobile order from Three Bridges or eat there. We just talked about liking to eat there. So I don't know. It's a great question. Very confusing.
Yeah.
We're moving to dining, other dining. Best place to grab Mickey waffles during a Skyliner crawl.
I did this research.
Is this one, because we always talk about how you can search for food in the app. Can you search Mickey waffles? Like if you're craving, like we crave queso, you can literally search queso in the Disney World app and it'll tell you where it's sold. But I'm looking at Mickey waffles.
See if you can. Does it say?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So you tell me what yours says.
Okay. Primo. Is it Piatto?
Mm-hmm.
At Riviera,
mm-hmm.
They have the Mickey shaped waffle platter. Centertown Market at Caribbean Beach, they have Pirate Mickey waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Landscape of Flavor at Art of Animation, they're not standard Mickey waffles, they're character based. So you could get like Cars or Lion King kind of characters there. And then Everything Pop, they have Mickey waffles.
Okay, so that is very good detailed information that I cannot find by searching in the app. I will just add one that is sort of on the Skyliner, which is at the Yacht Club. The market at Ale and Compass has Mickey waffles, and you can mobile order those. but I love the details that you provided with all the different options. But Primo Piazza is probably the best.
Yeah, if out of all of those, if I had a choice, I would head there as like quick service dining. It's really, really great.
Yeah, highly recommend that place. All the food at that place. I was able to secure a cake bake shop reservation through Open Table. It's not the Disney website. Is it legit?
Yes. I was just thinking of Abby's answer.
Well, yeah, we do some close friends answers on Instagram.
It made me laugh. Yes.
It's legit. So basically, if Disney doesn't own it, then the people that do own it, they've released some of their inventory reservations to the Disney system and then some through Open Table. So you can book it through either one. In some ways, Open Table is easier and better because you can, a lot of times they have more reservations through Open Table and you don't have to deal with the cancellation policies that Disney has. But it's legit.
It's legit. Lots of Disney Springs restaurants are also on there too.
Yep. Great idea for a cake bake. How do you know what meals are on the dining plan at quick service restaurants?
If you are physically there, there'll be an emblem on the menus, so you can see it there. If you're in the app and doing mobile order, it'll prompt you if you have the dining plan, if you want to use your dining plan credits for it.
It's so much easier to see snacks, like things that are labeled as snacks on the Disney dining plan are,
clearly labeled.
And I'm just looking at the mobile ordering screens in the app to see how they're labeled. But yeah, if you are there and mobile ordering in the app, it will tell you.
Yeah, it'll prompt you and say, do you want to use your dining plan credits? Like how many dining plan credits do you want to use? Like, and it'll only let you use the amount that the food is eligible for.
Trattoria Al Forno or Cape May for dinner. I'm looking for a boardwalk location. I mean, do you want all you can eat seafood? Go to Cape May. Otherwise, I would go to Trattoria. There's also Flying Fish.
Yeah, Flying Fish, so good.
There's also Yachtsman Steakhouse. There's also Ale I haven't had breakfast.
I'm very hungry.
I'm so hungry.
We're talking about waffles and now.
And in all the shapes. I want them in all the shapes. Okay. Yeah. Do you recommend Who to Do Review Dinner Show, Mom and Adult Sons on Departure Day, 4 p.m. in December? So flight at 7:30. You're not going to be able to do it at a 4 p.m. 4 p.m. show, 7:30 flight. I just got hives.
I did too.
I would be heading to the airport at 4 o'clock.
Anxiety. I may not be heading to the airport quite then, but not only does the show take some time, it just takes time to get there. It's not an easy place to access unless you're staying there or you are staying like on one of the resorts, like Contemporary or something where you can take the boat. Otherwise, it's a multi-step process to get back there unless you use a minivan.
Yes. So do you recommend it? No.
No.
40th birthday dinner for my husband. It's just us and a 5-year-old daughter. Teppan Edo? ? I mean, that's fun. And I think with kids, hibachi's always like, it feels a little bit like entertainment because you're watching someone cook and it kind of occupies their attention for it. So I think maybe that's a fun option. Another one could be Beer Garden.
Oh yeah.
Beer Garden has entertainment as well. And it's German food on a buffet and good food, music. You do share usually a table with other people.
Yeah, but I guess you technically share a Teppan Edo too.
Oh, you do. You do. That's how hibachis work. So we're just setting you up for a community birthday. Favorite Disney snacks and treats?
I'm a Dole Whip purist, I think. I like me some Dole Whip. But I like
the original?
Yeah, but maybe float, like a Dole Whip float.
I like the coconut. That coconut Dole Whip with the cake pop sticking out the top.
That one is pretty good.
That's my favorite. Okay. Favorite lounges for a solo trip. Bonus for a fireworks view.
Geo 82 comes to mind.
At Epcot.
At Epcot, had great success booking the last available the latest reservation I could. Sat at the bar and just turned around and watched the fireworks. That was pretty much perfect.
Yeah, getting fireworks views is not easy. You can go up to California Grill and ask to sit at the bar there, and that could work. I think Bamboo Lounge at Polynesian?
Yeah. Maybe, can you see stuff from Dahlia? What's the one I'm thinking of where you can see
Riviera.
Topolino's.
And you can ask to sit there as well as a solo person. So, yeah, those are some choices. Let's skip to Lightning Lanes. Hearing stories about Lightning Lanes selling out last week. My trip is March 4th through the 9th. Do we see this continuing? Last week was very busy at Disney World. So your date shouldn't be that busy. And if you were booking 7 days ahead, I bet you're going to be fine.
I do too.
Not staying on property when Lightning Lane purchase is available. Will all good times be gone?
They won't all be gone, but they're going to be more limited. I think this is one of those instances when using Wait Magic and Standby Skipper are going to be key.
Yes, on our last trip, I booked our Lightning Lanes later than 7 days out. So when I went to book them, they were pushed later in the day, like afternoons, a lot of them. I set up Wait Magic to modify them to morning, and we got almost everything that we wanted. Speaking of Wait Magic, with Wait Magic, if full party buys Lightning Lane Multipass separately, can you link everyone together later? Yeah, I think so, because anybody that you're in a group with, like Heather's going to Disney World, and if she said to me, hey, I'm going to be on a plane, can you book some Lightning Lanes for me? I could, because we're connected in my Disney experience. It's not, even though we're not traveling together. So I think as long as you're friends in my Disney experience, that it should work. But if that's not true, let us know. Park hopping, 3 parks one day. Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, in that order. Early entry at Animal Kingdom. Pre-book Lightning Lanes at Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios.
Here's what I would do. I would buy a single pass for Flight of Passage, rope drop Animal Kingdom, knock stuff out at Animal Kingdom, pre-book at Hollywood Studios. Use my pre-booked things there, and then I would either use my second single pass that I'm eligible for the day for Rise of the Resistance or Tron. I would pick, and it kind of depends on which one you want to wait in line for.
I think that's good advice, and I would use something like Standby Skipper or Wait Magic to help you start picking up more Lightning Lanes.
Yeah.
If you have one night on site but the rest off, can you book all of your Lightning Lanes in advance? I don't believe so. I believe that when you're on site, it's just the length of your trip, and that if you're off site, it's relative to your off-site dates. Standby Skipper, it says, or wait time. I think they mean Wait Magic. I am a fan of Standby Skipper during trips, Wait Magic before. And the reason, so Wait Magic, for people that don't know, is a tool that can modify Lightning Lanes before you get to Disney World. It also can modify and get them during your trip. Standby Skipper is an app that gets Lightning Lanes during your trip. The reason that I often like Standby Skipper is because it's an app, and that is easier to use when you're on your phone at Disney World. Wait Magic is through the browser. However, you could just use Wait Magic. We have both, so we can use both. And one of the trip reports I just did, he used Wait Magic before and during his trip and didn't have too much trouble with it. So if you want modification before, Lightning Lanes during, and you don't mind using their website in your browser, then Wait Magic. Okay, that's all the Disney World questions. We do have one Disneyland and then a few Disney Cruise Lines to wrap up. Would you be able to share the name of the service for large party vehicles at LAX? On the recent 50th birthday Disneyland trip, the guest mentioned a large bus van pickup. So this was the episode with Amy a few weeks ago. One of the best episodes ever, because it was full of such incredible experiences. But I went back and reviewed the transcript of the episode, and she said her friend had set up the Sprinter van. So we don't have the service information available, but I'm sure there are plenty. They had a big group, so they booked a Sprinter van to take them from, I thought they were at John Wayne Airport. This person says LAX, but I don't have the name. Let's do DCL. How long will it take to get off the boat at the back end of Express Walk-Off? So back end meaning the end of the group. I want to get off the boat. We're usually at the front. Or ish, I don't know. Because like they're going to start calling groups. Like Express Walk-Off, for people that don't know, is where you have your own bags and you're taking them off the boat and they let you off first. And then they start calling groups like the Daisy group, the Mickey group, whatever. And those are the people who have had their bags taken off the boat the night before by Disney. But I don't know. It moves pretty quick.
Yeah, it moves pretty fast. I've also been at the front end of Express Walk-Off, and the boat isn't cleared yet and people aren't getting off yet. So you can end up waiting a little bit at the front end too if things aren't moving super smoothly. So
yeah, it can. But the thing about Express Walk-Off is that one person in each group has to share their like key to the world card to exit the boat. And then once you share that, the whole group moves. So it really is it goes really quick.
Fast.
Once it starts moving. It just takes a little while to get it moving. What's the latest you can leave your room if you're doing Express Walk-Off? Well, the rules are the same for everyone. And I think it's like 9:00, or you have to be off the boat by 9:00.
Yeah,
you have to be out of
really early.
You have to be out of your room by like 7:30 or something like that. And then off the boat like around 9:00 or so. That's everybody. Best DCL ship / itinerary for new cruisers. I mean, I think that Disney's newest ships going out of Port Canaveral, well, some of them, are to cater to people like you who want to try it. Like, I'm going to Disney World. Now I can just tack on a little Disney cruise time so that I'm going land and sea. So I think if you're a family with younger kids, the Wish class of ships would be best. So that's the Wish and the Treasure and the Destiny. The Wish and the Treasure go out of Port Canaveral. Destiny goes out of Lauderdale. Am I right? Am I doing this right? And they're all like basically the same ships with different themes.
Yeah.
If you're adults only, the other ships tend to be better. Like the Dream and Fantasy have better like adults only pool areas, adults only entertainment areas, and they also have some different itineraries. Also, we do love the Magic and Wonder. They're small. And we'll be going on one of those ships in April. Okay. Last question. Is a Mediterranean Disney cruise worth the price tag? We've not done this. We haven't done Mediterranean cruises.
No, but I think in general, the Disney cruises are worth the price tag if you understand that the extra money you're paying is getting you the things that make the Disney Cruise Lines different.
Yeah. And if you have kids, I think they're especially worth it because it can make navigating, other countries maybe more accessible. So I've certainly interviewed people who have done it and really loved it.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular one.
Yes. All right. So that's all of our questions, an hour and 23 minutes in. Let's talk about some of the questions. We have Christine joining as usual. She says the audio sounds good.
Woo woo.
Thankfully. We also have Jessica. Good morning. Good morning. Ingrid is proposing some acronyms for the new Millennium Falcon. We've got option 1.
Oh my gosh.
And we've got option 2 that has punctuation.
Oh my goodness.
And we also have some commentary on the shoes that are very much in line with us. Love the shoes. Take my money. Ghosts for life. Very, very, very partial to the ghost shoes. Amanda says, is the Skyliner closed when after hours ends at Epcot? Our trip is next week. Yes, but they're not going to abandon you.
You have to live in Epcot.
Yes, you never can go home. They will have buses when the Skyliner is closed.
Yeah.
All right. Jessica says, for teens, the custom little word project bracelet appointments at Disney Springs is really fun, a sentimental and sleeper hit. Little word project bracelet appointments. Heather, do we need to write this down? I don't know. I don't know what that is. We're going to look that one up. Disney Springs is hard to keep a handle on. I saw a picture of Donna Kelsey in Disney Springs having ice cream the other day, and I had to look up where she was because I was like, what is this ice cream place? We have been to ice cream places, multiple ice cream places, but never the one that she was at. Lori Ann says, have you done Geo 82 fireworks party? Thoughts? I have not.
I have not, but I was there, when they were having it. I mean, and it looks fine. I will say though, that Geo 82 is not big. It is a smaller area, and the advantage of sitting right next to the window, it's not that many tables. It's only the tables that are right along the window. I don't know that it's worth the price tag. I think I would rather spend a little bit less money and sit, I don't know, a row back at the bar and have the top of what you're only losing is like the top little bit that gets cut off because of the angle from where you're sitting.
But earlier we had that solo traveler who wanted a lounge with fireworks views. And, when you're only paying for one person, it seems much more doable.
Yeah.
Lauren says it seems impossible to get Space 220 lounge reservations is our best bet just using one of the dining apps. Yeah, it's confusing because it's hard to get a reservation and often it's not busy in there. And I don't really know what's going on.
I don't either. And it's also always worth it if you can't get anything to go ask about walk-ups. Because they are kind of known for having walk-ups available, especially if you go earlier in the day and you just ask to have your name put on the list. If you're only doing the lounge, they tend to funnel people through there.
The next question, what is your one and done restaurant in Disney Springs? We have one.
Yeah.
We have one. What's it called?
It starts with an F.
No. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm going to look it up. Can you tell the story and while I look it up?
It's the Mexican restaurant, right?
Yes, but I don't remember it starting with an F.
We did not have a good experience. I believe it was was it a media dine?
Yeah, they paid for it.
Yeah. And it's been so many years.
Yeah. But we really, really, really. Oh, I have two actually.
Frontera.
I don't even know if that's it. That's why I said I don't think that's it.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
It was on the water, and I feel like Frontera might be somewhere else. I don't want to slander it if it's not true. Anyway, we went to this place, and the food was paid for, and they treated us like awful.
Yeah.
And the food was not good. And we were like, wait a minute, what's happening here? And by comparison, like we've done other media dines, like at the Polite Pig and Planet Hollywood, and they treat us like royalty. I mean, which is one of my mixed feelings about media dines. It's not typical. It's not typical, but I did appreciate that they were so nice. And I do love going to Planet Hollywood and Polite Pig, even when I'm paying as well. But yeah, it was truly terrible experience. I'm not coming up with a different name, so maybe it was Frontera, but it was on the water and it was Mexican, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, I'm 98% positive that's where it was.
Okay. The other one that I want to try again, but we didn't love, was STK.
STK.
And STK, I don't know. So I'm not going to call it a one and done because I'm willing to go back and try it again. But it was so hot in there. And the staff was saying they didn't have air conditioning units that were big enough for the space. And we were there like shortly after it opened. And I was like,
at the second level, we were like, so it was extra hot.
It was so hot. And there was like 80s music playing and it was loud. And we just were not quite sure what was going on. Why are we hot? Why is there 80s? Why is there a DJ in this restaurant?
There was a DJ and the sun was up, and those two things just don't work in my brain. Like the sun was up, the music's thumping, and we're sweaty and hot.
And like, I'm like 80. Okay. So like we grew up in the 80s. Like the music is like, are we the target? Because it's not hitting for us.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
I can't even tell you if I like the food or not, because the other things that were going on were just so impactful. I have no recollection on the food.
Okay. So, Kyle, same person, says the lack of AC and the music is too loud at STK. Okay. But I never hear anybody else saying this. And so that's why I'm like, do I need to go back? Because maybe our experience wasn't typical, but we really did not have a good time. And I'm so noise sensitive that kind of overpowers everything. Last question from Ashley. Do you guys think Steakhouse 71 or Ale and Compass is better? They're both good.
Yeah.
And they're just in different areas. So if you're close to Magic Kingdom, go to Steakhouse 71. If you're close to Epcot, Ale and Compass. But also, like, we are new fans of the Steakhouse 71 Lounge. Mm-hmm. So if you're adults only, consider that. You don't have to have a reservation. You can just go. All right. We've been talking for a while.
That's a long time.
Yes. And Heather is... Oh, we just have another one that came up. Sorry. Are you able to book Topolino's on the My Disney app for breakfast? I haven't ever seen it show up. I know it's very popular. I never saw it as an option. I was at the beach club that first week of February when it was cold. I tried to book it the month before. It was never on the app. Now I want to do over trip on Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah. It's very popular.
It's like the most popular character dining. So if you want to book it, you're probably going to want to book it right at that 60-day window.
And I did a test of using a browser or the app, and the browser was faster. So go watch my YouTube video about dining reservations where I show both. And because there's a strategy to it, but also you can use a dining alert tool to have it alert you when openings pop up. Okay. All right. That's it. So Heather is leaving for Run Disney event. So we are pre-recording for our live tomorrow. Live in quotes. Live. So it will still be up tomorrow, but it will be pre-recorded because Heather's going to be at Disney World.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll see Heather when she gets back. Thanks for joining.